But first to news closer to home, and there's no doubt that both Melbourne and Sydney CBDs are shadows of their former selves. But while Sydney City's reinvigoration is well underway, Melbourne CBD remains a depressing place with businesses struggling to survive, homelessness and drug use in the open, and far too many empty buildings. But instead of doing everything possible to make the city a desirable place to visit, Melbourne City Council seems determined to destroy what's left of the CBD by doubling down on its flawed bike path strategy, which makes it even harder for motorists to shop or dine in the city. At some point, the incompetence of this council becomes so consistent and so emphatic that one wonders whether it's deliberate. It's hard to overstate the sheer absurdity of the City of Melbourne planning to introduce more bike paths just as struggling restaurateurs, retailers and other traders plead with them to make the CBD more car-friendly. The Council's Transport Strategy 2030 plan is causing mayhem. But rather than recognising that their policies are harming businesses that are struggling to survive, the leftist council has delusions of bikes, electric scooters and segways reinvigorating the CBD. This is what happens when you get a council bereft of business experience. Those with skin in the game are understandably disgusted, including renowned restaurateur Chris Lucas, who told Sky News, "Traders and businesses across the city are suffering huge losses, and yet, despite numerous pleas for a common sense solution, we have a plan to now extend those business-destroying bike lanes. It's just another blow to the thousands of small businesses already crushed by the world's longest lockdown." Small Business Australia Executive Director Bill Lang said he was stunned that the council was engaging in further disruptive policies rather than effective policies to bring our city back to life. Perhaps it would be useful for Melbourne Lord Mayor Sally Capp and her councillors to acquaint themselves with research published on their own website on January 28 this year, which showed 74% of city business owners are barely surviving or are under intense distress, and that 53% of city businesses aren't confident that they can remain open for more than 3 months. That's grim. Now, this anti-car council will point to research claiming that around 40% of car trips into the city add no economic benefit. But what percentage of cyclists using bike lanes add any economic benefit? Are folks on bikes hitting the CBD boutiques and fine dining restaurants? I don't think so. And I have to say, the bike lanes appear to be empty whenever I'm in the CBD, which is a number of times a week. We shouldn't be surprised that the council is failing residents and businesses alike. After all, this is the same mob who last year backed a drug injecting facility for the city. And after months of backing an injecting facility for heroin and ice users, every drug under the sun, it was only yesterday that Mayor Sally Capp finally said Flinders Street wasn't a suitable location for that facility. You know what, Mayor? There is no suitable place for a drug injecting facility in Melbourne. Instead of adding to the city's many problems, how about restoring some pride and prestige to what was once the world's most livable city?